How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mo. And you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. Today we're going to be installing a new head unit on the Sequoia, and this is the Kenwood DMX 7706. It's the closest thing to the Pioneer 1500 necks. That's what I found. I couldn't find any of the 1500 necks. But to install it, of course, you're gonna need a trim remover kit to remove the trim in the car. A Phillips head, 10mm, always good to have pliers. If you're gonna go the crimp route, you need a crimp tool, of course, and wire strippers. For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and solder my wires together and just use heat shrink. And of course, you're gonna need electrical tape. Thanks to Crutchfield, they're not sponsoring this, but they've been super helpful trying to get everything together. I do have the JBL system, and I do want to use the steering wheel controls and use the factory amp. So they said this is going to be the best thing. It's the interface. We're going to be installing this too, and they recommended this. I don't know if I'll need it, but just in case, I went ahead and got it. Anyways, so first thing we got to do, let's go ahead and take the factory radio out, and then we can get into what comes in the box and what comes into this interface. And we're gonna go ahead and solder everything and then put it back in the truck, and I'll show y'all how everything looks once it's finally done. All right, so to remove this bezel right here, all you need to do is push the air vents forward, and there should be Phillips head screws, if you can see them, on both sides. Once you remove those, then you could use your trim removal tool and then just pop it out, and it should pop out. I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, so I removed both screws, and then all you have to do is just, everything should pop right out. That way you get access to the radio. All right, so once you get to the radio right here, these are 4 10mm bolts. You unscrew these and the radio should pop out, and then you could undo the clips. All right, I went ahead and removed all 4 bolts, and all of them are 10mm. Your radio should pop right out, and as you can see, you got the clips in the back. Let's go ahead and remove those, and that's all's left from the radio, and that's the only thing that's connecting it. All right, everyone, so we went ahead and removed the factory radio. As you can see, it still has the factory brackets. We might need these, we might not. I'm pretty sure we do. So we're gonna put this aside for a moment and then look into what we have in the Kenwood and what's inside the replacement interface for the Sequoia. All right, so let's open up the box and see what comes with the Kenwood. All right, so we got the bezel, we got the hands-free mic, and then of course we got the wiring harness for the radio itself. And let's see what we got here. And of course, this is the radio itself. Let's put this down here somewhere. Okay, so this is the radio itself. It's definitely a whole lot shorter than the factory radio. As you can see, it's about half the size of it. This will keep your radio controls, steering wheel, this will keep your steering wheel controls, and it'll keep the function of the factory amp. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on here. All right, so this is the plugs that go to the radio and go to the interface itself. As you can see, this is the interface itself to be able to retain all those functions, like factory functions. And this is for the OBD2. There's a lot of stuff that you could do with the Kenwood. Actually, it's kind of crazy on how much stuff there is. All right, everyone, so this is the harness that comes off of the unit itself. The purple is going to be your rear right speakers. Of course, you got a solid purple and then one with a black stripe, and that's for all 4 speakers. The green is going to be your rear left, and then your grays are going to be your front rights, and then your whites are going to be your front lefts. So all these we're going to have to match up to the pack harness right here that we have. Also, the blue with yellow stripe, that's going to be for our steering wheel controls. We're going to have to match it up. The orange and white is going to go to our illumination on our pack wiring harness, and then our blue with white stripe is going to go to our power amp. So let's go ahead and match these up, and I'll let you all know what to do with the rest of the wires. All right, everyone, so what I did is I went ahead and stripped the wires, and I bought this basically assortment set of heat shrink. What I did, I just cut them in half, and then I went ahead and put them on the wire, on one side of the wires, just to make stuff go faster. So now all I'm gonna do is match these wires up to the small pack wire and solder it up and get the heat shrink on, and then I'll move to the next part where I'll show y'all what other wires you need to connect to make the connection for the main harness. Alright, so I finished soldering everything and putting the heat shrink on them. So these are the wires that we're going to use. Of course, I didn't have any butts to cap these, so I just put heat shrink, wrapped them in electrical tape, and that's it for this. Also with these, I'm not going to use these, so I just, you know, tie them together, get them done. So the 3 wires right here, the yellow, red, and black, are on the main harness. This is the main harness that goes to your car harness. Now I'm using connection 1 and connection 3. That's what they said I should use in the instructions for my car. I have the JBL. That's what they said I should use for my Sequoia, so I'm using these. And over here, you're gonna have those 3 colored wires that we supposedly capped. I did the same thing over here, and then we got the yellow, red, and black. So we have to solder these together and hook them up, and that should be it for the wiring harness. Now there's one other thing, is this. For some reason I can't remember what it is, but we have to connect this to the OBD2 connector and then fish this wire all the way up here. And if you see, the main harness has this plug, so what you do is you unplug this and plug your wire to this plug. I can't remember what it was for, but you have the black and yellow wire here. Those are for your factory backup cameras, if your Sequoia did come with that. Mine didn't, so I'm not gonna use these. We're just gonna use this white wire that has black and red stripe to it, and then we're gonna connect it to this area right here. It should be simple to remove it. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, you just remove this and you connect it, and this is our plug for our car. But we would have to fish it through. Let me go ahead and connect these 3 wires, and then what we're gonna do is gonna put the brackets on and hopefully go to the car and get this all installed and see if it works or not. Alright, so everything's wired up, soldered, and heat shrink wrapped. All I have to do is try to find something to cover these up. I went to the auto parts store yesterday and couldn't find it, so I'm just gonna wait and see if they are out of stock or not. Anyways, once you get with everything buttoned up, this 3.5 millimeter we're not gonna use, and also these augs are not gonna be used. On the back of the factory radio, I'll show y'all once we get in the car. This was for the antenna, and this is where the antenna is going to plug in. And then you got this plug right here. We're not going to use that jack right here. That one, we just tie it up and it's not going to be used. All right, let's go to the pack. The pack for the Kenwood, On the back right here, there's numbers. So we're gonna flip the 1 and 2 on for the Kenwood. If you have a Pioneer, you flip this third one on, and that will be for the Pioneer. And all this is preset, so you don't have to touch anything. The factory controls already, set up. If you want to have a custom button selection, you can. Also, there's a whole list of what you can do and can't do with these. It's kind of pretty cool. And then now we're left with this. So we're gonna go ahead and take this sleeve off the Kenwood, and we're gonna go ahead and install the brackets. I think the factory brackets will work. I'm gonna go ahead and take these off the factory radio and then try to install. All right, everyone. So I got the factory brackets off and did install them on the new head unit. The factory brackets uses 4 bolts. As you can see, I put the 2 bolts I didn't use back in the unit, so I won't lose them. And with this, there's only 2 holes that will work with the factory bracket. So just install these, and I did check and make sure everything fit. We're gonna connect these wires to the pack. All right, so of course, when you stretch it out like this, we got the wire that goes straight to the radio. We don't need that one yet. We do need this one, and this one is attached to the one that is attached to the radio, and this is one of the pack wires. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here and install it in the back. Should be good. And we got a couple more that we gotta install. So for ours, we're gonna use the outside one because we do have JBL and we do have the factory amp. So we're gonna go ahead and install this. So that one is done. And then we got one more plug, and it's this one right here. It's gonna have the OBD2 connector and then the black and yellow wire. We're not gonna use the black and yellow wire. We are gonna use this. I'll show you how to hook this up once we get into the vehicle. And this one goes into the middle one in the back, and that should be it. Now, once you got it like this and done, you could, tie it up whatever way you feel comfortable and as clean as possible, because these 2 right here are gonna go to the factory wiring harness in the vehicle, and this is gonna go to the back of the radio. It's gonna be a lot of stuff to shove back in there, but I think we'll be fine. All right, let's go into the vehicle and get this all buttoned up. So for the wire that goes to the OBD2, now I don't know if you could see, but where the light is coming through, there's plenty of room where we can fish this wire down there, plug it up to the OBD2 and bring it back up. All you have to do is just find a way where you like to snake it through, and once you find that way, plug it up, and then you could hook it up to the main wiring harness. Show you what I did is I zip tied the yellow wire since we're not using it, and my OBD2 is right there, so plug it in, and I fished it through. I'll show you where it comes out from. It comes out from here, and now we don't have any wires, and I could zip tie these to the factory harness, and we'll be done with it. Now, since this is done, let's go ahead and install the main wire for the radio. All this have to fit back in here, which is gonna be a struggle, but we'll make it work. All right, so I got the wiring all zip tied and as neat as I can get it. So this is the wire that I showed y'all that we're not going to be using, so this can go back in there. This is the antenna wire. We do need this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck all this behind here as neatly as I can. Man, that's a lot of wires. So I'll just leave this tucked in. Hey everyone, so I got everything, put back, and the radio works. I snaked the USB cord through the ashtray. You just remove it, and then there's a hole, and you can snake it in from the bottom, and also the ashtray will go back in, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's in convenient spots right here, so everything works. All we have to do is just put the bolts back in, and it should be set up. All right, so here's everything installed. Got the double din in, and Apple CarPlay, everything works amazing. You don't have to have the Apple CarPlay plugged in if you don't want it. You can just stream the Bluetooth and play your Pandora or whatever, but this cable here is for the Apple CarPlay, and you just plug your charger wire and, you know, plug it in. It charges it while you're driving and everything, so you don't need to plug it to a charger. I routed it through the ashtray, and also the mic, I routed it through the ashtray. I think that's the perfect place for me. I don't use the ashtray or anything like that, so it just stays there, and I don't mind having this wire hanging on this side. But yeah, this is a pretty cool radio. Again, if you go to like setup, whatever, you can change any color as far as the buttons go and everything. I just keep it on white to match my interior. Also your wallpaper, I have it on carbon fiber. Yeah, everything works great. I mean, to be honest with you, it's pretty simple install, straightforward. And here's your Apple CarPlay. As you can see, you can have like 3 screens, what you're playing music, and then of course your half map, and then you go over here if you want your full map. You can get your full map and everything, and it'll read you your text and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it. Definitely better than the old radio. And you know, this is not sponsored by Crutchfield or anything like that, but man, they were so helpful. If you want to order anything, just go ahead and order from them. They are amazing. They helped me out tremendously. You know, and this one, the way I did mine is I still retain my steering wheel control. As you can see, the volume goes up and down, and I still have the factory amp, and it does sound a little bit better than the factory one, just because this is newer and it has its own amp. But if you can see, like, the sound is pretty good, you know. And you don't have to turn it up too high, but and that's with factory JBLs and factory amp. I just rephoned my JBL speakers, and everything works perfectly fine. If y'all like this video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, guys. I'll have more videos coming up, so just stay tuned, and I'll see y'all next video.